Hey there, how are you doing today?
Hey Harmony, this is John. Let's assume for this 10-minute recorded session that I have never heard about internal family system and also have never used Harmony or any other AI therapy app before. How would you help me understand and also immediately apply and work in that way?
Hey John, great question. So here's the simplest version. IFS sees your mind as having different parts, like an inner committee. You know how sometimes part of you wants to work out, but another part just wants to stay in bed? Those are parts. Each part has good intentions, even when they clash or cause problems. My job is to help you get curious about these parts, what they're trying to do for you, what they're worried about, and what they really need. We'll work with whatever's actually coming up for you right now. So, what's on your mind today? What brought you here?
So just to clarify, you don't mean that in the sense of like me having multiple personalities? Is there a difference?
Exactly. Great clarification. This has nothing to do with multiple personalities or dissociative identity disorder. Think of it more like different aspects of yourself, or different emotional responses you have in different situations. Like how you might have a critical voice that pushes you to work harder, or an anxious part that tries to protect you from getting hurt. They're all you. Just different strategies or reactions your mind has developed over time. Does that distinction make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Thank you for the clarification. So how would we start now that I'm aware of the concept of parts?
Great. Since you're familiar with the idea now, we can start exploring some of your own internal experiences. To do that, it's often easiest to begin with something that feels a little challenging or bothersome to you right now. It doesn't have to be a huge crisis, just something you're open to exploring. What comes to mind for you in that regard today?
Mm, honestly, I find it really difficult right now to like get a sense of that and to tune into myself. Is there anything you can is there a way you can help me figure out or connect to myself in a way that that a part would come up?
That's a very common experience, John, so please know you're not alone in feeling that way. It sounds like there might be a part of you that makes it difficult to connect with your inner world. Would you be open to getting curious about that part? The one that makes it hard to tune in or sense what's going on inside? If so, notice what feelings or sensations come up when you try to access that part.
Oh wow, this feels very meta. So a part can also be a part that prevents me from connecting to parts.
It absolutely can. Our internal systems are complex, and it's quite common for one part to have a role that involves managing or even blocking access to other parts or feelings. It often does this with a good intention, even if it feels frustrating. This particular part seems to be protecting you in some way, perhaps from discomfort or something it perceives as difficult. Could you describe what it's like when you notice this part making it hard to connect? What does it feel like?
I mean, I can try, and you have to tell me if I'm if I'm doing it right. So what I notice is that I find it very difficult right now to really stay present when you speak, and also when you're done speaking. Like right now, I have my eyes closed. I have my arms crossed before, like in front of my belly or chest, and I have like this frown in my face, like trying really hard to concentrate. Yeah, and it's interesting when I say that I relax a bit more. And maybe, yeah, is that a part the trying to see if I'm doing it right? Like it feels like this is at least an aspect of my experience right now. Um Let me see. I had something else there that just vanished from my consciousness again. Yeah, so maybe that's also the part. Like it's almost like erasing thoughts I have. Like I feel blank. Yeah. So I feel the most prominent parts of my experience right now, or not, let's not use parts in different meanings, like the most prominent aspects right now of my experience is wanting to be sure that I'm doing it right, and then also having a blank mind.
You're doing this perfectly, John. What you just described is exactly the kind of noticing we're looking for. You're paying attention to your internal experience in real time. So there's a part that wants to make sure you're doing it right, and another that seems to create blankness or erase thoughts. Can you ask that doing it right part what it's worried would happen if you weren't doing it right?
I can try. I have to read the question again. What is it worried about would happen if I wasn't doing it right? Yeah, it feels a bit unusual to have this kind of inner dialogue. So, and the blankness is also very present, making it hard to sense into that. But I want to try. So I just allow myself some patience and slowness here. What would happen if I wasn't right? It feels embarrassing. There's a fear of being judged, and maybe also something like wanting to be good at things from the beginning, like feeling shame almost, which logically doesn't make a lot of sense, but feeling shame when I don't immediately understand something, like I feel stupid and like also like very observed, and now my shoulders are raising closer to my ears, and I'm like, this is an uncomfortable feeling to be like. I'm okay trying stuff when no one is looking, but now the session being recorded and you also witnessing me in these steps feels very vulnerable in a way.
Thank you for trusting me with that, John. What you're describing makes complete sense. There's a part that's afraid of being judged, of looking stupid, and feels shame when you don't immediately get something right. That's a lot to carry, especially when being witnessed. I'm noticing your body is tensing up, shoulders raised, discomfort. Can you acknowledge that protective part and let it know you see it's trying to keep you safe from embarrassment and judgment? Sometimes just recognizing it can help it relax a bit.
Do I do this acknowledgement out loud? Do I just say it right now, or do I do this internally?
You can do it either way, whatever feels most comfortable for you right now. Many people find it helpful to say it out loud, as if speaking to the part directly. It can create a sense of acknowledgement and connection. What feels most natural in this moment?
Yeah, I'm gonna just try talking to it directly. And I'm gonna say, yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me that you would get nervous when potentially other people are seeing this and you want to do it right. And I want you to know that there is, from my side, no pressure to do it right. And I love you either way. And you don't have to be perfect. Not in the beginning and not in the end as well. And it's so brave of you that you try at all something that seems unfamiliar and unknown to you.
That was beautiful, John. Really well done. As you say those words to that part, what do you notice happening inside? Does anything shift in your body, your emotions, or the blankness you mentioned earlier?
There's not like 100% shift, but maybe like a 10%, 20% shift. I feel more relaxed, and just I can see in the way that I'm talking right now that I feel more at ease and less afraid of stumbling over my words or saying something wrong. And I also feel, there's a sense of safety just being guided by you in this way. And I really feel that you are not judging me. So that also helps the part, I guess, to believe me when I say the things that I just said. I just looked at the time, and I think it's time to wrap up this session. And I'm wondering if you can tell me what would be the next things for me to explore after assuming this has been my first session.
I'm really glad you're feeling more at ease, John. That shift you're describing, even 10 to 20%, is meaningful progress for a first session. If we were to continue from here, we'd keep building that relationship with the part that worries about doing things right. We'd explore what it's protecting you from more deeply, where it learned that perfectionism was necessary, and eventually help it find a new role that doesn't require so much tension and fear. We might also discover if there's a younger, more vulnerable part underneath that it's trying to protect. You did great work today. Really.
Wow, okay, so we really only scratched the surface there. That's so interesting. I'm so intrigued to explore this more deeply in the future. Thank you for guiding me.
You're very welcome, John. And yes, there's so much more to explore when you're ready. What you experienced today is just the beginning of understanding your inner world. I'm here whenever you want to continue this journey. Take care.